watching the Mystical Green Beanie.
Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? I am the Mystical Green Beanie, and welcome to my review for the first season of The Defenders. And I'm going to approach this review a bit differently from my other reviews. Instead of doing a best of, worst of type thing, I'm going to try something different. A, because I like diversity in content, and B, I just finished watching the show in the airport on my way home from a vacation, so my thoughts are still kind of fresh. So first things first, I want to talk about the characters. So starting off with Daredevil, Matt continues to be my favorite character in the Marvel Netflix universe. I love seeing his struggle with trying to be both Daredevil and Matt Murdock, and how in the end, he realizes that they're one and the same. There is no separation. And there's this really cool line that Matt has where he's talking with Karen, and she tells him that she's disappointed in him because she thought that he was getting his life back on track, and then he tells her just before he puts on his Daredevil costume that this is his life. And I found that to be really interesting, especially seeing as how he seemingly dies in the end of the show, saving New York from the Hand, which started out as an enemy of Daredevil and ended as a threat to Matt Murdock, which came in the form of Elektra. I also really dug Luke Cage within the context of the series. Now, this is where we get into some of my gripes with the show, because Luke Cage in this series is played less like Luke Cage in the comics and more like Superman? Which, look, I love Superman, but Luke Cage and Superman are two totally different entities. Luke Cage in the comics is a lumbering, chill dude from the streets who has this tough guy exterior, but on the inside, has the heart of a teddy bear. And the Luke Cage that we see in the series is basically Superman. He's the big Boy Scout who's earnest and humble and tries to be a hero to everybody. But that's not Luke Cage. Luke Cage is supposed to have a little more grit, and this version of Luke is very watered down. I mean, I still like him within the context of the series, but yeah, I couldn't help but see Black Superman whenever he was on screen, and that kind of bugged me. Then there's Jessica Jones, who I still don't like, and it really hit me when I was watching this series. Jessica Jones in the Netflix shows is that one person that you have in your Facebook feed who posts about how they hate life, and how they're so apathetic, and how they don't care about anything, even though they clearly care about the thing that they're claiming they don't care about, because they're making a serious effort to let people know that they don't care. And saying that she's a frustrating character is a bit of an understatement, and I have nothing against Kristen Ritter, I just don't like this character. Finally, there's Iron Fist, who is really disappointing. Now, I haven't read a lot of Iron Fist, to be honest. I've only read the Ed Brubaker and Matt Fraction run on the character, and I've read some of the Heroes for Hire material, but aside from that, I'm not too well versed in the character. That said, I know enough to know that the Danny Rand that we see in the current Marvel Netflix series is seriously dumbed down. Like, the character's an idiot. I don't know how he gets anything accomplished. Plus, he's really annoying, and honestly, he might be my least favorite character in the show so far. Anyways, let's move on to the story. So, the first season of Defenders is basically Daredevil Season 3. The core of the story is spinning directly out of the story arcs that we saw from Daredevil Seasons 1 and 2, and the emotional buildup from those arcs are paid off here. The story with Matt's relationship with Stick is tied up. The story with Matt and his relationship with Foggy and Karen are tied up, and the weird, twisted romance that Matt has with Elektra is tied up. So even though the other core characters have arcs in this season, Daredevil's was the most pronounced. As for Danny Rand, he's a MacGuffin. He's the item that the Hand needs to fulfill their evil plan. And then he does it, because he's an idiot. But to be fair, the show acknowledges that Danny's an idiot, so I guess that excuses his idiocy? I guess? Also, Luke and Jessica develop their relationship more, so that's cool. I mean, I wasn't too invested in their relationship, to be honest, but I do think it's interesting conceptually, because in the Marvel Netflix universe, Jessica is an edgy teenager who's trapped in an adult body, and Luke is an old man who's trapped in a regular adult body. So it's interesting seeing how these two individuals bounce off each other while keeping in mind their romantic history and how that could potentially balance out a future relationship. Then there's Colleen Wing. And Colleen Wing has a character arc where every 5 minutes she needs a prep talk about how she's important, and I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care about Colleen Wing, and I thought she was extremely annoying this entire season, because she was having an emotional breakdown every episode, and I felt like all the time that was being dedicated to other characters telling her how important she is could have been utilized for some more interesting character growth in other characters. And finally, there's the plot that the Hand has. It's fine. So basically, they need the Iron Fist to punch a hole in this cave so that they can dig up these fossils from these ancient beasts that grant people immortality. And again, it's a fine premise, but honestly, as soon as they said they needed the Iron Fist to act as a door, I thought they were setting up the Beast of the Hand. But no, it's just dinosaur bones. And I get that it was an allegory for shadow corporations using shell companies to dig up oil, but I really wanted to see the Defenders fight the Beast of the Hand. But, you know, whatever. Anyways, that's it. Overall, I really enjoyed the Defenders. It was a lot of fun, it was very well crafted, and there's not much that I didn't like about it. Again, Danny Rand is played as an idiot, Jessica Jones was kind of insufferable in some scenes, and I didn't like how the marketing for the show hyped up Sigourney Weaver as this major threat for the Defenders, but then turns out that she's nobody? So that was kind of disappointing. Also, Elektra's heel turn to being a bad guy felt very sudden and kind of random. But with all that said, I can look past all of that, because on the whole, the show was really good. The acting is great, the fight choreography is fantastic and diverse, the directing is top-notch, and the writing is engaging. So in the end, I really enjoyed The Defenders, and I highly recommend that you watch it if you haven't already. But those are my thoughts, but what about you? Did you like the show? Did you binge it? Or, unlike me, do you actually have a social life and haven't finished the series yet? Let me know down below in the comment section. Also, if you found this video even mildly entertaining, hit the like button, share, support the channel, and if you want to see more content like this, all you have to do is subscribe. I'm the Mystical Green Beanie, and as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, adios nachos, adios.